Ding, 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 ding. Well, that's what was there.
You still have your opportunity to come to the mic, though.
And you're on.
Good evening, everyone. It is 7 p.m. Welcome to the City Council meeting, February 18th, 2025. Madam Clerk, would you call the roll?
Councilman Ashafi,
Present.
Councilwoman Martin,
Here.
Councilwoman Manica,
Here.
Council Pro Tem Robinson,
Present.
Council President Thomas.
Excused. Can I please get a motion for approval of the agenda?
Is there a roll call?
Madam, Madam Pro Tem, I have two walk-ons that I did give to the attorney in a timely fashion. He does have them. I would like, if possible, if we could place those walk-ons under the table item in 5, because they're all connected together.
I have a question.
Yeah, there were two. Yeah, I reviewed the one I reviewed before I arrived tonight. The other one, Councilman Ashafi presented to me before the study session. It's very similar to the one that I did approve as to form. They both regard the purchasing of vehicles.
Okay, so these are legal and binding. And
They're approved as to form.
Explain that.
Then it's up to the deliberative body.
Okay.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that, sir? They approved to what?
As to form,
Oh, as
as
to
to form,
form, as
yeah.
it's written.
right?
Okay,
They're written correctly, but it's up to the body to determine whether they're going to pass it or not.
so I have a question about them though. What are they? I'm sorry, guys, what are they for?
Okay, so at the last council meeting, there was a tabled item, a resolution to approve the purchase of one 2025 GMC Sierra, 1500 four-wheel drive pro plow truck for $56,000. Okay, these two resolutions here were researched by myself and Councilperson Martin, and we found some lower numbers than what is tabled, and we would like for those two items to be considered along with the tabled item, but council has the final say as to what they want to do.
So again, I have a question to the legal.
Right.
Yes.
Could our two council members go out and get quotes? That before we pass it, before we do anything?
Well, my question is, in reviewing the resolution, is it correct as to form? And those are correct as to form. It's kind of unusual, but I mean, my determination is that the resolutions are fine as to form. They were written very similarly to the prior
I'm
resolution.
not asking about the resolution.
Okay.
I'm asking about the fact that they need to get quotes themselves.
Can they do that?
Is that?
Well, that's kind of a complicated question. I mean, it sounds like they have. It's up to this body to determine what vehicles you want to purchase and how you want to purchase them. It's
Because
kind of
I concur with them, but I'm not going to vote for something if it's illegal.
right.
Okay, well,
I'm not
it's not illegal.
I'm talking to the attorney right now. Thank you.
right. I'm not ready. I'm not going to make a determination whether something's legal or not with respect to the resolution. The resolutions are in proper form, and it's up to this body to decide if you want to do that or not. I believe the acting chief from the fire department is here. I think it was his resolution regarding the 2025 vehicle. And now it looks like there's going to be a resolution for a 2022 vehicle. And I believe the other one's a 2024 vehicle.
22, 24.
Yeah, so it's up to the body to determine
So
how they
we're
want to
going-
proceed. Everything,
So I don't think, I'm sorry.
I mean, the way the charter works is the legislative process is council would determine whether they want to support it or not. If council votes for it, it may be subject to mayoral veto. I don't know. But as you know, that's how the process works. And then if it's vetoed, then you need sufficient votes to override that veto.
So isn't one of the things for us to consider is budgeting, right? Of the city.
That's right.
Wouldn't this, if we got one that we're purchasing for 56,000 and then we found one that's $20 less and we find another one that's $10,000 less, how is that illegal?
Well, if I'm correct, it should have went out for bidding. And then you would get that back. Maybe, I don't know. No, hold on. I think before, all I did was say what I thought. But evidently,
Oh, good God.
the lawyer cannot or is not going to answer what Ms. Robinson asked, because we went around in a circle.
Right.
So I think
So if
we should go
pass
ahead with
it
the agenda, and what you
and
can
they get
do
vetoed,
is say in the table item,
Right.
we want to have
Do you hear me,
2
Commissioner?
additional trucks or possible things looked at versus trying to write 2 resolutions. Walking on, because now that would just be.
Okay, so.
because if we
okay,
pass
okay,
these 2
okay,
resolutions and they get vetoed,
Okay.
we still don't have a truck.
Okay, so here's my question here.
Mhm.
One, they already have a truck.
Okay.
Okay. It may be a little rough, but it is work. They are used, okay? 2, for the last 2 years, we're told the process is to put together a resolution, present it to legal, legal looks it over, says it's the form, which legal has said it is the form, and then this council considers it. Nowhere has it ever said that council couldn't find or get a quote itself to simply be considered. We're not asking you to vote yes on it. We want it to be considered to save the taxpayers money and get something that's reasonable within our budget, okay? It's all about tightening our belt here, okay? I understand that we got $56,000 to blow, but if we don't have to blow $56,000, why should we blow $56,000 if we can get the same product for less? What is the problem?
Also, I want to piggyback on that. If we can save and not have to spend 56,000 and put that taking care of the family, meaning when I say take care of the family, take care of the employees.
Right. So I think that.
First you want a resolution, then you
I
don't
think-
want a resolution.
Right?
I mean.
So here we are.
Cause y'all have to keep a standard here.
Do you want to, you just want the ability to have optional choices. I don't think 2 resolutions are necessary to provide optional choices, but either way, that is your prerogative. So at this point, we just need to vote on it, and either they come onto there or not. If they don't, then you still have the option to say, hey, when we untable the item, here's 2 other choices. I would like for the fire department or whoever to look at these and see whatever the process is. But at this point, I think we should just call for a vote.
Really need to be consistent.
And in having 2 resolutions, that's what
actually
we
would
were
have
told. No, that's what we were told, because we had a couple of items on 1 resolution and they were shot down because it was more than 1. So the 2 resolutions isn't the problem. So we're gonna,
What is the problem?
I don't know what the hell's going on. I have no idea.
we're gonna, so are you approving the agenda with amendments to add? Can you
Yes,
state what you're doing for the rest?
yes, I make a motion to approve the agenda. With these 2 quotes added onto the agenda, with these 2 resolutions added onto the agenda. 1 resolution reads in part to approve the purchase of 1.
Do we remove the table item and then add these? Do we remove the table item and then add these 2 in the?
Sure, yeah, you could do it that way. I see the table items are already on the agenda.
Okay,
But-
so at the moment, we're approving the agenda, and once the agenda is approved, then we can untable the
Yes.
table item, correct?
Yes, it's listed under number
Okay.
5 as an item that was tabled last week. And I believe last week it was specifically tabled for this meeting on the 18th.
Okay,
If
okay, so-
I recall the minutes correctly.
okay, so again, I would like to make a motion to approve the agenda with 2 walk-ons, 2 resolutions. 1 resolution reads, a resolution to approve the purchase of 1 department 2024 Chevy Silverado 1500 regular four-wheel drive plow truck to be funded through the current available funds from the 2024-2025 fire department. The other resolution reads in part to approve the purchase of one department 2022 Chevy Colorado four-wheel drive extended cab plow truck to be funded through the current available funds from the 2024-2025 fire budget. Can I get a second?
So
somebody?
again, attorney,
Second.
we do not have to remove that table item at this time. You said yes.
No,
No, no,
you
it's,
have to approve the
No, we
agenda
vote the
first,
agenda first and
and then you bring the
Okay.
table item back.
approve the agenda. That the item is listed as tabled. It was tabled from the last meeting and it was tabled to be considered at this meeting and it's on the agenda. So if when you get to that item, someone wants to make a motion to remove it from the table to consider it, then you would do so at that time and then you would proceed with the two walk-on items. If there's a motion and support for each of
So
those
we are
individuals.
approving the agenda with the two walk-on resolution. That's what we're doing. That's what we're voting on.
Yes,
We had a motion, we have a second by Councilwoman Martin. Madam Clerk, can you call for the vote?
Councilman Ashafi,
yes to add.
Councilwoman Martin,
Yes.
Councilwoman Manica,
Yes.
Council Pro Tem Robinson,
Y'all, yes,
Okay.
yes to add.
Okay, can we place these under item 5, A and B?
no,
Is
you
that
can't,
possible, Madam Clerk, or where would we put these at?
you can't put it under something that's tabled already. And I need a copy of the resolution for the 22
Absolutely.
vehicle,
Yes,
but
ma'am.
no, as the attorney said, you would just, when you bring it back from the table, then talk about that you have
Yeah,
something else to add.
You can take my two, I got two more.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, in fact, you know what, I think those are ones that the attorney signed for me.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, so yeah. All right. So
Can I
what
get
will we
a,
be placing those?
can I get a motion for approval of proposed minutes, in person and virtual?
I move to approve
Madam-
the proposed
Okay.
minutes.
Yeah.
Did she place them at a spot? Okay, okay, cool.
That's the point I was trying to make. Do I get a second?
Second,
Madam Clerk, can you call the roll, please?
Councilman Ashafi,
yes.
Councilwoman Martin,
Yes.
Councilwoman Manica,
Yes.
Council Pro Tem Robinson.
No. And I will explain to anyone that wants to know why I voted no. At this time, we are asking Mayor McDonald to speak to council.
I'm here. Good evening.
Evening.
Please excuse my absence. I had a medical emergency today. And so I'm at home. So I'm going to take this time to answer a couple of questions that I was given through an email that was circulated throughout the city by an anonymous person. So on one of these questions, it was about city jobs. Why is the city hall operating at half staff? Were jobs lost to cover the water bill? Well, city hall is not operating at half staff. City hall is operating under the budget that we're allowed to operate with. Every department is covered. There is no half staff. This is the staff, same amount of staff that was given to the previous administration. And so that question, I didn't understand half staff. And were jobs lost to cover the water bill? No, it was not. There was not money taken from anything. The job that was lost in my department was because I needed a full-time person to be there to answer phones from 9 to 5. And the two people I had, one person had a second job and she could not be there. uh, after 2:30. The other person only worked 2 days a week, so we needed 5 days a week, 9 to 5. Um, City leadership. How can our small struggling city afford both a full-time administrator and a mayor? Well, a mayor's salary is a part of the charter, and it is created by the uh, compensation commission. I have no control over my salary. The compensation commission made this salary a long time ago. It hasn't changed. It's been the same salary, just like the treasurer, just like the uh, clerk. We have not had a salary raise in many years. It was one attempted to be raised last year, but it was shot down by the compensation commission. And not last year, I'm sorry, last term. The full-time administrator comes with our financial emergency loan. When you owe the state of Michigan, and they put in an agreement that you must have a full-time city administrator, that's where that position comes from. And as long as we owe the state, we have to have one. City growth. What has the mayor and staff actually done to rebuild Highland Park? Well, let me talk about some things. Building Highland Park started when we started trying to get rid of properties that we own, which allow us now to put those properties back on the tax roll. And so that's revenue of taxes. Also, building Highland Park, when I came on, there were 6 people working in DPW. Now there is 9. So I did hire 3 new DPW people, even though they're part-time, temporary. Well, they're not temporary anymore. They're actually part-time. And so that's 3 new people that wasn't there when I started. We have 4 developments that have closed, 3 or 4 that has closed, and now is ready to move forward with their development. One of them is a 33-unit apartment, and the other one is an 8-unit apartment. And we have a market place that's going to happen also. So those are the things that I've accomplished in 2 years. Also, my staff, we have a full-time fire department, which hasn't happened since 1983. That means we've been able to hire fire people. Also, we've been able to hire police officers. We have just hired 2 more last week to fill spots, and we have interviews this week coming up. And if we continue this rate by the end of the year, according to the chief, we will have a full-time police department, which hasn't happened in a very long time. So those are my accomplishments. I don't know what other questions. I think those were the 3, 4 questions that was related to me. The other was about water rates. So that's the time I'm going to take up to let you all know what's happening in the city. And again, every second Wednesday of the month at the Highland Park Justice Center on Hamilton at 10 a.m. And in the spring, I'm going to start back at 5 p.m. so people can come out that work and come out and ask those questions directly to me. We sit every time. I had only 4 people show up this time, just 4. I would like for the room to be filled. It's a very large building. And you don't have to put out flyers or anything to ask questions. You can just come straight and ask me. I have no problem with answering them. Thank you, Madam Pro Tem, for the time, and I appreciate it.
Thank you, Mayor. At this time, we have opened the floor for citizen participation, and please be mindful of your 2-minute time, please. Any citizens would like to speak? Yes, ma'am.
Very well.
State your name, please.
Hi, my name is Carla Oliver.
Yes.
This is in regards to agenda 5, the purchase of the vehicle. I wanted to listen last week before I gave my comments or my thoughts. It was mentioned last week that the truck is a 03 and it's on its last leg and has needed several repairs, and it's used to pick up supplies and food, right? The question is, do we need to spend money at all to purchase a vehicle at all? regardless of the year, regardless of the amount of money that's spent. The reason why I ask that is because this all comes down to data, right? So it was mentioned about the repairs. My question is, has there been a conversation that asks, provide that data, the receipts and maintenance logs for the vehicle? Just because someone says that it's on its last leg, doesn't necessarily mean it's on its last leg. They could be replacing tires or brakes, something, maintenance things. That's a question that needs to be asked. In addition to that, the money could be used. I understand that every department has a budget, and that doesn't necessarily mean the goal is to relinquish and exhaust that budget before the end of the fiscal year just because it's there.
Right.
It can be used, gathered, put into the general fund, or reallocated where it could be used and more beneficial. That's again what feasibility that I'm always talking about. Also, the fire department, it was mentioned that, and please, I really like the fire department, but it's mentioned that, you know, they may use it to plow just their little area, right? On times in which other, you know, other departments like DPW can't do it. That's a very small area compared to DPW, who have trucks that are barely functioning, that's covering the entire city, or don't have enough plows to cover the entire city. So that's something else to look at. Are we spending this, buying this truck for the right department? That's the question. So that's basically all I had in regards to that. So the question is, do we need to spend money at all as a city on a truck at all for the fire department just because it said they need it? That's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Renee Ford and I live on West Buena Vista. My question is similar to piggyback on Ms. Carly, but the first one is, our city treasurer, and we've been going over this forever, is she bonded? And if so, if not, what is the process? What's the holdup? Because I know financially we have vendors that need to be paid. And if our vendors don't get paid after they did the work, or the contractor, however you call it, what's going to happen? And then you mentioned it has something about her not being on the checking account or banking account or whatever. My question is she bonded? My next question is, again, maybe the fire department does need a truck. I don't know. I haven't looked at the truck. I haven't ridden in the truck. But when you guys mention a used truck, please listen to me. My son just bought a vehicle, 2025. Didn't have it 2 months. It went to the shop because the transmission went bad. It's a brand new one. So when we're looking at used vehicle, most of them say as is warranty. Do you guys or whoever's out looking for these vehicles look at the warranty compensation on it and what could be done even if a brand new one breaks down? So those are some of my questions as to what's going on. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Any more citizens?
I have my hand raised, Council Pro Tem.
Yes, ma'am.
I wanted to address the adding of the 2 vehicles. I'm a little confused on the resolution. I heard what Mr. Councilman Ashafi said, which is fine as the form. I'm trying to understand, are we voting on 2 trucks? Because that's what you have, 2 resolutions. And that means that you have to vote on both of those resolutions. Or are those, or should it have been quotes that should have been added to the table item as something to look at instead of the one that, or the my deal quotes? Because what happens is, I'm just thinking out loud, is that now you have 3 resolutions. You bring the one off the table. You can vote that one up, up or down, whichever way you do. Then you have another one for $22,000. You vote that up or down, and whatever you do. Then you have another one for $24,000. You vote that down. So I'm trying to understand, Is there just two quotes, and should the quotes have just been added as an alternative to what is on the table? And that way they could be looked at and evaluated and find out, because we also have to be, the trucks have to be certified but through MDOT. They have to have specifics. And if those specifics are not met, then we are out of compliance. So I'm just asking, will there be a vote for two different trucks, or will it be considered as take the quotes? Because if the quotes are good and the vehicle is good, there's not a problem. But if are we voting on one truck, two trucks, three truck? I'm confused at that.
So it's an alternative, it's to be considered.
You don't have to answer. That's just my question. And the lawyers can look at that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Any more citizens?
You have one online.
Okay,
Mark Ashley
I'll get
Price.
that one, I'll get that one online after,
Hello, everyone. This, I guess, go on the planning. I have, yes. Oh, okay, thank you. But I just want, council to know, I've applied for my license over a year, and it's time to reapply again, and I have not received them. I've received a ticket. I've done everything that was asked of me to do, and it has not been fulfilled. But now it's falling on me, and that is my livelihood. And I don't want it to be played with, because it's business. And I've done this more than 24 years. And I know how the process go. I was proud to see the process of an inspector. It only happened to me once in the 24 years, when I didn't ask for my $150 back.
Are you asking?
No,
I'm talking about a business.
I'm talking about my business license, yes. Yes, and so I just want to know and understand why I would receive a ticket when I've done what I was supposed to do, whether they finish the inspection or not. Can I receive a ticket? And I know this process. Like I said, I was proud of the process, but the process wasn't finished. And so it falls on me that they didn't come back out and finish. And I asked everyone. I went back to clerk. I went to the fire department man. Went to the little man in the white car, built, safe built, whoever he is. And I said, let me know when you're coming back out. I'm on the blue bill, I'm doing this. But I wasn't important enough. In these 24 years, I feel so disrespected, and I feel hurt, and I feel threatened right now. And I don't like this feeling, because I've done my part. Now I live in this city. This is all I have. And I took a lot to build this. And I don't see what the problem is of getting my license. And that I will receive a ticket in the mail with no instructions. No instructions. I take it to the police station. They got dates set up when you come in. I mean, you got to go in this day, 10 to 2, 1 to 5. What kind of shit is that? You know? So I really want that looked into. I haven't said anything because I went to the proper people, I thought. I asked Miss Green. I asked the young lady up there. And I'm serious because it's hurting my heart. This is my livelihood that people are playing with. You know, 24 years. This is the first year I've never gotten licensed. Now it's time to play again. And I said, give me 150 back for about 18, 20 years, because nobody came out. But what I do, call. I know it could be short staff, long staff. She said, all these staff people here, I can't tell. Because every time I come, that person ain't here. I don't know who you talk to, whatever. And you go here, you go there. What? Nobody knows nothing. So what do? I'm not sitting there want to take tickets and stuff and be played with my livelihood. I got grandchildren now. They have to have somewhere to stay when I'm not here. Past 63, you think of shit gonna be easy. It's fucked up and hard to deal in this city. This city is so messed up. A Black history lesson. Right now, you can see goddamn Willie Lynch live in living colors, and it's killing me. So Google him if you don't know him. He said, guaranteed it worked for 400 years, but hell, past that. We're past that. And it's time for us to get our stuff together. We're only so small. And it's a shame that we can't get this thing together. It's good if citizens come out and talk about it, because then together in numbers, we can do it. You need numbers. We're numbers here. Y'all see the Paris mayors? Where the hell they at? Dead. Wyndham, God bless him. God bless him. Dead. Wyndham, God bless him. So he better pay attention to the shit is real.
Thank you. Now can we get the one on hands raised, please? Thank you, Nana.
Mark Ashley Price. Okay, I guess.
Hello, can you hear me? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
First off, my name is Mark Ashley Price. I'm a citizen district advisory council member in District 3, Precinct 6. And I have a concern. I would like the council to pass item 6, about the city treasury. I asked for the council to pass that if the city treasurer is bonded, because the city treasurer is elected by the people, and that's why I'm making a big deal about that. And so I would ask the council about, to pass that if she's bonded. And I just wish Highland Park, the city council, and everybody else in Highland Park many blessings. I would have been there in person, but I'm sick. I have a big, huge cold right now, and I'm really sick right now. Otherwise, I would have been there in person. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Next. State your name.
Joshua John Lemire. The mic is hot tonight. I'd just like to follow that up with a quick, this is terrible. I'd just like to follow that up with a quick Black history lesson. This is the greatest city in America. And I think that capitalism and infighting has destroyed it like a rotten apple. And I think that the entire town should be designated a national park, which is done by an act of the United States Senate. That was the last thing that Barack Obama did when he was in office. He took the historic Pullman neighborhood in Chicago, Illinois, and turned it into a national park. And it's one of the most beautiful neighborhoods in the country now. That's just a thought that would freeze people's property taxes in perpetuity, and we wouldn't get $1,000 water bills in the mail. That's a drag. So just some food for thought. That's all I got. Happy Tuesday.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Josh.
Council Pro Tem Robinson.
Yes, ma'am.
Clerk Green is having difficulty connecting. She'd like for me to respond to Ms. Fry's question.
Yes, ma'am.
So Ms. Fry did come to our window today to inquire about her business license. And as I told her this afternoon, I would get back with her on tomorrow. I spoke with the fire chief, the fire inspector, and I gave him your number for him to come out and check to see if the violations that he listed with you when you first applied have been addressed. I asked him to come out today. He said he would give you a call. And additionally, because you are serving food, you need a certificate from the county. We have not received that. So it's our understanding that you are serving food, and as such, until you receive your clearance from the county to serve food, your license won't be issued. So those two have to be cleared up. Did the inspector call you? Did you receive a call?
No, I did not.
Okay, he will be contacting
But
you.
per the county, they said they need the inspection from you all.
No, that isn't, as I told you this afternoon, that is not how that works. The county is not waiting on the city of Highland Park to approve you to sell food. It is in the reverse. Once you get the Ms. Fry, once you get your certificate from the county to sell food, then you will get a license.
Let me tell you this. This is what they said to me.
No, Ms. Fry, that is not how it goes. That's not how it goes.
Okay. We'll communicate it.
And you can speak at the end too if you want to. Do we have any more citizens that would like to speak?
Guys, please. Thank you, Mayor. But remember, guys, this participation is only for items on the agenda.
We are not consistent
At all.
I want to
We
be.
do one thing for one person and don't do something.
Something else for somebody else. Yeah, I
Can you
agree.
please?
Agree.
So I want to piggyback on the water.
Mhm.
Okay.
So can you explain?
I'm sorry, what part of the water is what?
The water
Are you
department.
referring to this on here?
Yeah.
What?
Because I want somebody to explain to me how do you stay in the city?
We can't hear you. First, we need your name.
My
What's
name
your
is
name?
Raina Gilbert.
Okay, then tell us what part of the agenda that you're referring to.
The water department.
Okay,
Okay, so somebody need to explain to me, how can you live in a city and you don't have water in your home? And you
one
still
more time.
staying in a home?
I'm sorry, repeat your question.
How do you live in a home in the
Okay.
city of Highland Park?
Okay.
When everybody else paying their water, everybody else struggling to pay their water, and you still remain in your home?
Isn't that a citizen participation?
Because
So
2
wait,
years,
time out, stop. I'm not trying to be rude to you. Again, tell me your name.
Raina Gilbert.
Ms. Gilbert. That would be our, for participation at the end, because the water on here says resolution to accept Wayne County annual maintenance permit. If it's not addressed to the permit, then it's just because it's underwater doesn't mean we just discuss water. So in our citizen participation at the end, you can come back and ask that question again.
Okay.
All right, thank you, Ms. Gilbert.
Thank you, Ms. Gilbert. Do we have anyone else that would like to speak on agenda items? If not, we will wait to citizen participation at the end.
I don't want to start off the agenda tonight, but what I really want to do is, as far as the January meeting that was placed on January 9th, that was a special meeting. I would like to address that meeting with regards to Mr. Shanti and yes, January 9th.
Can you
with
please
the,
come back and speak at when it's at the end for citizen participation, please, sir?
Oh, so I can't generally speak tonight?
Not right now.
You can, but at the end of the meeting.
Oh, at the end of the meeting? Okay, sounds great. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any other citizens that would like to speak on any thing on the agenda? If not, we're going to go to item 5 on the agenda.
I'd like to make a,
I moved to.
I move to make a motion to untable the resolution to approve the purchase of 2025 GMC Sierra 1500 four-wheel drive pro plow truck for $56,305.
Second.
Madam Clerk, can you call the roll?
Councilman Ashafi,
Yes, to untable.
Councilwoman Martin,
Yes.
Councilwoman Manica,
Yes.
Council Pro Tem Robinson.
Yes. Okay, so now, attorney.
Well,
This
now,
where-
now that item is on the floor for consideration. It's been removed from the table, so now it's before this honorable body. So if someone wants to pass, or if there's a motion and a support, then you can move to discussion on the item.
I move to approve the purchase of 2025 GMC Sierra 1500 four-wheel drive pro plow truck for $56,305.
Where are we placing these other 2 items here? I still don't got an answer.
Monica made a motion to approve the resolution for purchase of 1 Sierra truck for $56,000. She made a motion. Do we have a second?
We have a second with discussion.
We said, who second?
Nobody, I said, I'm telling them we have a second with discussion.
I'll second for discussion. Second with questions. So,
Madam Clerk. Can you call the roll?
Councilman Ashafi,
I said I second with discussion with questions.
So then,
We have to have the question first before we take the vote. Okay, so my question is, so allow me to make clear as to what we were trying to do. So the fire department is looking to spend $56,000.
Is the fire department here?
Yes, ma'am. Okay. So the fire department is looking to spend $56,000 on a 2025. So what we did is, because the question was asked, were we getting a fair enough deal from LaFontaine? Okay, as much business as we do with LaFontaine, I asked the question, are we getting a fair deal from LaFontaine? We were sure that we were getting a fair deal, but then when I go out here and I do a little bit of digging and get a couple of quotes, I find a 2024 brand new Chevy Silverado for $50,000, $277. Now, that's over a $6,000 difference. And on top of that $6,000 difference, in this particular deal here, if we have a Chevy in our fleet, which we do, they are allocating another $8,000 in discount to the city to purchase this particular one. This is a brand new 2024. So that brings, so with that discount, that brings us down to literally almost $40-some thousand for a brand new truck, as opposed to the $56,000 that you guys are trying to spend. Then we went a step further and went out and looked at a used truck. So we wanted to give the city a full option of new and used. So one of these items is new, the other one is used at $22,000. Both of these trucks have plows on them with no extra expenses, little mileage. Both of them are under warranty, and both of them, this one here, the used one, has a full Carfax history. So all I'm trying to say is, if we talking about tightening our belt and saving the city some money, why can't these two items be considered as opposed to spending an excessive amount of money on a 2025 when you guys could have went to a 24 or a 23? Why such an extravagant expense for a plow truck that you're only going to use, as you made it clear, on your property and nowhere else? Right. It's only for the fire department's use. That's what was said to us at the last council meeting. But that is a lot of money for a truck when there are other cheaper options out there for us. And I feel like they're trying to confine us to LaFontaine as if there's a benefit for somebody else, and I don't like it. It's got to be a better option for the city to function than to stick with one person. We were told that we were getting the best deal. I clearly found two cheaper options. One is brand new and one is used. And then yours is brand new. But yours is the 2025, this is the 2024. So my question is why are we spending so much on the truck in which you're going to exclusively use on your property and your property alone?
Am I supposed to?
Yeah.
I apologize. This is my first time standing up here.
That's okay.
I am a fire marshal, Patrick Payne with the fire department. This Chief Hollowell has proposed this. He with Mr. Beard from IT. As far as I know, they researched this and they went through a state site, which was supposed to save us even more money. I apologize. I'm not familiar with or above my pay grade, I guess I would say, on how they researched it and how they came up with this vehicle itself. I should add that the reason we do have a plow truck, which is 20 years old, was stated to us, and we didn't get it brand new. We've only had it for a few years, but it was stated that we should have a plow truck for emergencies, such as the heavy snow we got just the other day. That if the ambulance, some of the cop cars get stuck, the DPW might not be able to respond quick enough to the emergency. So we would have our own vehicle. It's not necessarily just to plow out the front parking lot. It's also to assist with the other emergencies within the city.
Okay, I was going to, Lieutenant Payne kind of already mentioned what I was gonna say in regards to not just plowing their area. If there's an emergency, they're called, especially for ambulance or fire truck can't get out or somewhere, those situations. So it's not just used for that one specific little area.
That's not
The
what
other,
they said to us at the
I
last
understand,
meeting.
I understand. I totally understand. So
That's not
that's
what
why
they
we're
said to
here,
us.
so we can get that understanding. The other part is, I agree, Mr. Shafi, we didn't put this anywhere, these two resolutions. We didn't put them anywhere on the agenda. But again, it goes back to what I was trying to express in the very beginning, is that we're looking at 3 trucks. So removing this from the table and then saying, hey, I would like for you guys to take a look at the other 2 before we make a decision on this particular truck. And we actually need to make they need to make a decision, whoever, which one is the better choice. Now, my understanding is, and from a lot of municipalities, and we can go research it, that there are sites or certain items that you have to have go through the state. We chose to, we agreed earlier in the year or last year, whenever it was, on my deal, I believe it was. And so I did take the time to go and look on some state sites and see that, yes, so there may be some other vendors. So again, we would still have to find out if these 2 vending places that you're suggesting are under my deal or under the state's vending selection. Fontaine is not just the only one, so you can go to other vendors under, I'm calling it a program, but under the My Deal or the state vending sites. So for certain items, especially with DPW, I believe, so please, fire chief or police chief, whoever is available, correct me if I'm wrong, that you do have to go through those state vending sites, maybe, maybe not. So if, again, we're gonna end up tabling this because we don't have the answers to those questions. And so that's the biggest thing, I think. It sounds like somebody wants to, is that the mayor or the fire chief or?
Councilwoman Manica,
Also,
this is
yes.
Chief of Police.
Look how people just chime in, it's your permission. I love that. But we don't do that. We don't do that when Jamal is here.
Right.
Show Charmaine the same level of respect you show the council president. She's the president right now. People want to chime in, they chime in the same way they chime in when Jamal is sitting here. That's all I'm saying. Same level of respect.
So my apologies, Councilman Ashafi. I understood that to be a question that was addressed to me, so I was answering.
Please answer.
Council President. Council President Robinson.
Hold on a second. Who's running the
Okay,
meeting?
I would like to read this resolution.
Who's running the meeting here?
I would like to read this resolution. Whereas the City of Highland Park Fire Department wishes to replace the current department pickup plow truck. In doing so, 1, maintenance expenses will be reduced. Response times will be improved. And 3, assist with overall operations. Fire prevention will be assisted. Whereas the City of Highland Park Fire Department requested a quote through My Deal for a Department 2025 GMC truck at $56,305 for optimal pricing from the LaFontaine GMC My Deal vendor. Whereas the city is currently a My Deal dues paying member and LaFontaine GMC is a My Deal vendor. Whereas the prices from the My Deal contract for vehicles from the LaFontaine GMC could save the city approximately $10,000 compared to vehicles purchased from other vendors. Chief, can you or someone explain what a My Deal vendor is in relation to the City of Highland Park?
Yes, Council President. My Deal is for purchasing of new equipment. So there's several vendors like Councilwoman Manica said. There's vendors regarding, different items. It could be for plywood for DPW. It could be for medical equipment for EMS. They set the prices based on new. What we're doing here today is not comparing apples to apples. Now, we're pricing it for new is 2025. Now, in my opinion, the 2024 vehicle that Councilman Ashafi and Councilwoman Martin found is a comparable vehicle. If it's new, it seems like a good deal. So I think those are excellent alternatives. However, what we agreed upon when we came with in the past with bids was based on new my deal pricing. That's why a 2025 was presented to you. I'm not saying, that there's not alternatives to other vehicles, but if we are going to purchasing new would be a 2025. Although the 2024 is not used from what you guys are saying, and is probably a great deal. Now, the used vehicle that you guys are presenting, I don't think is even close to being comparable to a brand new vehicle. So I hope that answers your question. I apologize. I understood your statement earlier as a question that was directed to me. That's why I interrupted.
Okay, one more question. What funds are we using to purchase this truck?
Again, that came from the chief, but I'm assuming it's from our budget. I know he wouldn't have proposed it if it would have been funds that weren't already allocated for our budget.
So now I have a question for my two constituents. Did you research to see if these two dealerships were a part of my deal?
I'm gonna be honest with you, Council,
Yes.
Council Pro Tem, I did not. My objective was to find a cheaper alternative.
Okay, so can I ask my questions?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Councilwoman Martin, you can ask your question at this time.
Sorry about that.
First off, you deal with Alex. Yes, he went on the site. That's how he found out that if we own additional Chevys, we can get additional money off of the city. Now, the used truck, no, and you're right, it was no comparison from the 2022 to the 2025. They didn't even look the same. Now, the year 2024 and 2025, they were very similar. There really wasn't a big difference. The stainless steel plow, nothing had been used. He hadn't even had the Carfax because nobody had owned it yet. So 2024 is new, and it was not that much difference between a 2024 and a 2025. Now, my next question is this. We are just about to go out of the winter season. We're not going into it, we're going out of it. My question is, why are we purchasing that now? Why are we even considering that now, considering that we're bleeding winter, not coming into it? That's number one. Number two, my next question is this. How important is it to get the best deal? On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being very important and 1 being the least, where do you think?
10 and 11.
That's my second question. My other question is, how do you decide it's only my deal that decides what you're going with? Are you serious? That money could go to something else. That money can go to employees. When are we going to start taking care of the family and the house? When are we going to start doing that? How great is it? We're sitting there purchasing all these new toys, but we have nobody to drive it. Where does that even make sense at? I yield back.
I have a question. And in regards to something that Councilwoman Martin said, do we have a contract? Are we dedicated to purchase through a My Deal vendor? Can somebody answer that? Can somebody answer that? And explain that to me.
Council President, may I answer that?
Yes.
Yeah, so no, we are absolutely not required to purchase through. If we're purchasing new, it's the best option. However, the 2024, like I said, based on his research and from what he's presenting, sounds like a great deal. And we are not obligated to purchase through My Deal in any way. Our requirement is to find the best deal. I agree with you guys. So that's it.
So we're not obligated, and that was only, we used it only because we was purchasing new.
Correct.
Okay, any more questions?
Council Pro Tem.
Yes.
I would simply like to point this out though,
Mhm.
also. So the one in which the fire department put together,
Mhm.
they said that L'Enfontaine will save us $10,000. The one that we found, the 2024 brand new, we stand to save $14,624. That's $4,000, over $4,000 more than what L'Enfontaine is gonna save us. Just on the discounts alone of what they're giving us, it's a $14,000 save as opposed to L'Enfontaine's $10,000 save.
And they're both new.
And they're both brand new. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, and again.
Our objective is to get the best deal for the city to work within a constrained and restricted budget. We are still a distressed city, and we need to act like that distressed city and try to cut corners every which way possible. I don't care what it is. We need to save as much as we can. This is still a distressed city. Thank you. I yield back.
Okay, again. Question whenever you get a moment. I'll get you a. Okay.
Council Pro Tem.
Hold on, man. Just so again, as Martin so said, why are we purchasing these trucks now? That money could be used for something else.
True.
Can anybody answer that?
Can I answer that, Council Pro Tem?
Yes, ma'am.
So the truck is not just being used for plow, as you know. It's being used to pick up supplies for the fire department, equipment for the fire department, as well as they have to buy food that they pick up to put in there. Sometimes they use the trucks, but it has always been said that they should not have trucks outside of the city unless they're getting ready to go. Sometimes they have to take them because they have to be on call. But the truck is not just for snow removal. It has a plow on it that helps. Now, let me say this, and I'm saying a 2024 is okay. And if it's a better deal, it's a better deal. We don't have a problem with that. What I'm confused about is, are you going to vote on all three, or would you just choose which one that you're going to vote on and remove the rest or that's what I'm saying. Because we don't have a problem with a brand new 2024. As the lieutenant said, I talked to them. This was done before and presented, but there's not a problem with getting just like the chief said, a 2024, as long as it meets the MDOT standards and inspection is passed the inspections. It's not a problem. So if you want to go with the 2024 that saves us $14,000, please, by all means, that would be acceptable. But the truck is to be used not only just for plowing, but for the fire department to be able to utilize and not burn their trucks up, which are two of them are almost at the end of running. That means they have to run those trucks to go pick up stuff, run those trucks to go to fires, run those trucks to do whatever it is that they need to do. And that's putting more mileage on trucks that's already stressed and almost at the end of their rope. We have one brand new truck and two trucks that are 25 to 30 years old. So yes, Councilman Ashafi, I agree. If you can get a 2024 and save $14,000, that's wonderful. The question will they pass inspection? And if that can happen, then no problem. Thank you.
I have a question. So
The resolution
wait.
that we have, the resolution.
Before you.
No, I was.
No, she had her hand up. Go ahead. Go ahead. Please.
my questions are
Jesus Christ.
in regards to we throwing out, first let me ask this, are we throwing out the used truck? Or we just gonna focus on the two new trucks?
Council Pro Tem, could I address that? The item on the agenda right now is the 2025. Then after that, there's going to be the 2024 and the 2022. When you talk about throwing something out, the council is going to have an opportunity and just a couple of agenda items to decide if they're going to move and support it, vote it up, vote it down. They're going to have 3 individual decisions to make on each of the 3 trucks. You may vote to buy the truck. You may not vote to buy the truck. You may vote to table the item till the next meeting. Those are your options on those 3 individual vehicles.
And that's why I called it.
So the motion,
Did you call the vote to? I didn't hear you. No, because she interrupted.
oh, I'm sorry. So wait, hold on. It's my question, my time. My time. So listen,
Then you could have introduced yours.
Okay.
okay. So first and foremost, my motion was on the floor with questions. And yes, you're right. We do need to vote on it. But so what you're telling me is that these 2 other resolutions is going under item 5, which was tabled, which we was told you cannot put it under table.
We was told that we couldn't do it until we brought it back from the table.
Let's back this up.
That's what the attorney said.
We can put it under 5.
Brought it back from the table.
He said,
Voted on it, rather to take this resolution, it could have got voted down. Then you could have introduced your 2 resolutions and we would have took a vote on those.
So if I may ask that right now, I am removing my motion because I would like to know from the clerk, was it stated that we cannot, when it was asked where to put those 2 items, I thought that we were told you cannot put those 2 resolutions under table.
Council Pro Tem, may I answer?
Yes, ma'am.
So when you were adding it to the agenda, you couldn't add it to the agenda at that time under tabled. But the attorney did say that once you brought the item back from the table, then as you're moving on that resolution, you could change it or amend it or move however you wanted to after you brought it back from the table, which has been done at this point. So now it's technically in play. So now you can move forward with however you want to move forward with that item.
Okay, so therefore, my new motion, oh, I'm sorry. I'm not sure. I think Mr. Shafi, you have to rescind your second.
Yeah, I did second it for you.
Okay, so I removed my motion because I'm gonna make a new one. And you have to remove your support.
I removed my support, Ms. Manager.
Thank you. So my new motion is that I move to add the 2024 Chevrolet Silverado 1500 4-wheel drive, regular cab, 140 work, TRU to this resolution or with this resolution for further discussion or to table it until the fire chief or whoever needs to look at them can see that they are enough similar or the same. You have an option to second it too. It's automatic, Tim, if you like. Dies for lack of support. I'm sorry. I don't know how long we have to wait, Madam Robinson.
Madam President.
Monica motion dies for lack of support. And here we are again. Are we going to approve the resolution? That has-
Are we, so we're not talking about it, we're done, like whatever I had to say doesn't matter now.
Well, no,
That's not what I'm saying. If
Is
you,
that how that's
if you can
working?
listen to what I'm saying.
Yeah, but you said
After we
she-
removed
you
it,
said
after
she
we
was
removed
first.
it from table, because we keep going around the circle. After
We
we
haven't gotten
removed
to
it,
me, we don't, we're
after
not going
we
in circles,
removed
we
it
haven't
from,
gotten to me yet.
excuse me, after we removed it from the table, we should have voted yes or no on this resolution. Had it got voted down, then you guys could have added yours to this. That's all I'm saying. That's what you're really trying to do. You're trying to get one of these trucks or both of these trucks added to the resolution.
No, I just wanted to have my question answered.
Go ahead.
so let me go back to my motion. My motion was, I don't know if everybody didn't understand it. I know maybe I didn't give it clearly, but I was adding them together so that we could have that discussion again, but adding all the trucks or the two trucks that I thought should be added.
Do you still have a question, Ms. Martin?
I don't know, I'm good.
Thank you. Go ahead, Councilman Rashid.
So, Ms. Manica, are you gonna, put your motion back on the table so we can vote on this item? Or does it die for lack of support? Because where it stands right now, what you were trying to do died for lack of support. This resolution that the fire department put together is still sitting here before us under item 5.
No, that died also.
It died also.
Remember, she took her support away. She took her motion and you took your support away.
Okay, then that's.
There's no
the deal for
action
that.
on it.
Okay,
There's no action on it.
okay.
So I will make another motion then.
Is it dead? That's what I want to.
It's not dead because there's no action on it. When I took my support back, when I took my motion back and you took your support, it's still laying here. I tried to make a new motion to include, and you guys didn't want that
Madam
motion.
Pro Tem, may I
Yes,
ask a
you
question?
can.
Thank you. So if I could just direct this to the clerk through the chair. So my understanding is that the 2025 truck, once the motion was withdrawn and support withdrawn, that died. The 2025 truck, is that correct? It was removed from the table, then it died
Because there was no action.
because there's no action.
Yes.
So then is it correct that then the next item would be the 2024 truck, and then after that, 2022 truck?
Now that's a gray area. That's new territory because they haven't done anything with it.
Okay.
So
It would be germane for if a council member wants to make a motion to add either one of those two trucks to the agenda at this point, if there's a motion support for that, and
Motion
then
to-
that would be appropriate for discussion.
Motion to approve the purchase
I'm sorry.
of one department two
Point of order.
2024
Yes.
Chevy Silverado 1500 red weight 4-wheel drive pro plow truck to be funded through the current available funds from the 2024 fire budget.
Point of order. Or a question.
You have a question?
Point. We already voted on that. At the very beginning, we approved the agenda with the addition. May I ask the clerk or through you, Madam Chair, to go back to where we approved the agenda? And what was the approval of the agenda? Was it with an addition of 2 resolutions?
Madam Clerk.
yes,
And Mr. Shafi asked, where are we putting them?
Yes. Madam Clerk.
yes. And the response was, once you can't add anything to the table because it's already been tabled. Once you bring it back from the table, then you can make a motion on either resolution. And so that's being done at this point. So if I understand, your first motion was to refer the 2024 to fire, but there was no support for that. Now Councilman Ashafi is making a motion to approve the purchase, which we're in the middle of now. And I may be stating that incorrectly, but I believe that's where we are at this time.
We are where we are, but he also said, I would like to make a motion, if I'm correct, to add it. We're gonna do it right, so we're gonna do it right. We've already added it. You telling me I can't add it under table, but we still under table?
Technically, we're not under table. We've taken it off of the table. I know it's a bit confusing, but it's off the table for discussion now. And so now as you're discussing it, you're doing something different. You're adding resolutions up under there. As long as it's tabled, no, you can't add anything else to something tabled from a previous meeting, but now we're in the current meeting talking about the item.
So
Can I get a second, please?
maybe this needs to be a workshop.
Hello.
You made a motion to
I
purchase.
made a motion to purchase. Can I get a second, please?
For the 2024.
Yes.
Doesn't it still have to be inspected?
Oh, of course, they're going to inspect.
Not if we say they can purchase it.
So I just want to be clear.
I just made a motion.
So
You
let's
want to
make
make
a
a
motion to have it
motion
inspected.
to approve the resolution, or you're making a motion to purchase it just flat out?
No, let's make a motion to have it inspected.
I said, and again, I make a motion to approve the purchase, because this is what the resolution says, to approve the purchase of one Department 2024 Chevy Silverado 1500 four-wheel drive plow truck to be funded through the current available funds from the 2024 to 2025 fire budget. Now, naturally, if we approve this tonight, the city is going to do its due diligence with the inspection. Done deal. Once we approve, it's off of our hands and it's off to the hands of the administration.
So which?
They execute.
Then the question becomes, which one?
Did he get a second?
I just asked
The
for a second
2024.
for the 2024.
Second.
Now I have a question.
Question, go ahead.
God, Lord.
No, you can't have a question until it gets seconded. We're in the middle of a,
Second.
oh, Ms. Martin,
I second it.
thank you.
So here's my thing. We did not approve the purchase of the other one. But we're gonna approve the purchase of this, then ask them to expect.
You took back your vote.
That, we're not talking about my vote.
No, I'm
We're
saying you
talking
took
about-
back your vote and then you made another motion. Your motion died for lack of support. We
Okay.
on to the next item.
And so now I'm asking my question on the next item. And the question is, in the first motion, we tabled it and it said the same thing, to approve the purchase.
This is not a
So
table
now
item.
we're in the second one, and I'm talking about that one. We're going to approve this without it being expected.
So we have a second, we have a motion and we have a second. Madam Clerk, can you please?
Councilman Ashafi,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin,
Yes.
Councilwoman Manica,
No.
Council Pro Tem Robinson.
No.
There it is. Problem solved.
That's it.
Good God.
Next item on the agenda is legal.
No, you have to do the 22.
Mhm.
Do I have a motion to approve the purchase for the 2022 truck?
Chief made it clear that the 22 won't work out. It's got to be new. So use not an option.
So this resolution dies.
Yes.
For lack of support. Yes. That-
Moving on
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you. Sorry.
to legal.
So now there's no trouble.
Resolution to add Treasurer Alicia Scholasky to the City of Highland Park accounts with Comerica Bank. Do we have a motion?
I want to make a motion to add Lisa Strolarski to the City of Highland Park's account with Comerica.
Do I get a second?
Second with questions.
Ask your question.
Okay, so I'm a little bit confused about this particular item. The reason that I'm confused about it, my question kind of piggybacks on what the residents asked earlier. Have we achieved a bond from either the county or a bonding agency for Treasurer Stolarski? Have we achieved that bond? As our resolution said that she must be bonded. Have we achieved any one of those bonds?
I'm not aware of a county bond. Any bond would be filed with the clerk's office. I believe there is an umbrella policy that is in effect to cover the city portion of the funds. And I'm just directing my attention to the administrator, Ms. Square.
We don't have a bond, we have prime insurance.
Okay, so what does that look like for us in form of liability?
She's unbonded.
I thought legal was supposed to take care of that. Last time we talked.
No, she has to apply for the bond. We can't get a bond for you. That's an application. You have to submit that.
And you're saying
We pay for it though.
You're saying she hasn't submitted an application?
No, we don't have anything.
Okay, so that brings me to my next question. Checks are being signed. Money is being handled. People are going to the bank. Everything is going on business as usual with one exception. Nobody is bonded. Not even the deputy. Treasurer. Nobody has the bond. My concern, see, I keep going over this over and over in my mind, okay? I want the city to move forward. I want the city to progress, but we're steadily doing business as usual, and business as usual is what's gotten us in the position we at right now, where we don't have a pot to piss in or willing to throw it out of. The process must be followed. It's been laid out. Nothing has changed about the law. It must be laid out. I got no problem with Ms. Stolarski, but the process must be followed. And you're asking me to say yes to this particular resolution with nobody being bonded. So what happens if something goes wrong? Whose ass is on the line? The individuals who approved it. They're going to come right back to this council and be like, it's your damn fault. Because we approved it with no bond. I'm not trying to be a jerk here. I'm not picking on anybody. I got no personal feelings one way or the other, but I see the problem here. I see the problem here, and I feel like this problem is going to come back to bite us in our ass. And I just can't be a part of that. I just can't sit here and say yes. Because understand, we say yes, we put her on this account. She reserves the right to not only go to the bank and drop deposits, she reserves the right to withdraw money from the bank because she's on the account now. She has full access with no bond.
Actually,
Somebody help me understand that.
Attorney has something to say.
Yes, the addition of the account is contingent on being her appropriately bonded, with the bonds being received and filed in the manner set forth by the City of Highland Park Charter. So if she's not bonded, she won't be able to sign and add on to the accounts if this resolution is passed.
I've read that. I've read that thoroughly. I don't like it. I don't trust it. I am uncomfortable with it. I feel like you're smiling at me while you're shoving your finger inside me. I don't like it.
Madam Clerk, can we call for the vote?
Councilman Ashafi?
No.
Councilwoman Martin?
Yes.
Councilwoman Manica?
No.
Council Pro Tem Robinson?
Yes.
Hello?
Hello. Hello.
Hi.
Who do we have?
Did anybody want to hear from me regarding, I mean, you guys asked me to be a panelist. So we don't have any questions for the treasurer?
Did you submit an application, Lisa?
An application for a bond? No. I haven't filled out an application for a bond for the simple reason that no one from the city has ever gotten back to me as to whether or not they achieved the blanket bond that council wanted me to have, which was a $5 million blanket bond to cover only Tony and me. So that was never, that hurdle was never resolved.
How did it go?
In
from
addition
two
to that, which,
to 5
come
million?
on, Kershie,
I'm sorry, how did it go from 2 million to 5 million?
you voted.
Everybody, we voted on this and it was passed, and maybe we have to put this in a workshop so we can get some clarity and some truth.
It went from 2 million to 5 million. Now, I have
Thank
learned.
you, Lisa. Thank you, Lisa. We're gonna put it in a workshop because we already voted on it.
Okay.
And we're going to move to the last agenda item on our agenda, which is water. The resolution, can I get a motion?
I move to, I'm sorry, I lost track of where we were. I move to approve the resolution to accept Wayne County Annual Maintenance Permit A 25058, Annual Pavement Restoration Permit A -25113, and Annual Permit for Special Events A -25146 as requested by the City Engineering Department.
Second with questions.
Okay.
Mr. Garrett. Permit for special events, A25146. What is a special event?
Parade, things like that.
Who would do a parade
Well, this is,
other than us?
okay, this is them issuing us the permit to do things in their right of way. So for example, we do this with DTE and we have a blanket. So they're saying we can do maintenance in their right, in Wayne County right of way without applying for an individual permit. We can have a special event, a parade, a road blockage, what have you, in their right of way with this blanket permit. And we can do some maintenance activities in their right of way under this blanket permit.
So does that mean that y'all might move the parade off of Hamilton and onto Woodward?
Well, I mean, no, sir.
Okay, I didn't think so.
No, sir.
Yeah, I didn't.
I'm an engineer. I don't know nothing about parades. I just go, that's not me.
Well, it said special events, which makes me ask the question, what is a special event under engineering? Because I know that's what this is. It's water and engineering. So what is a special event? And you just explained it to me.
Okay.
All right.
No,
I yield back.
It would be a temporary road closure. It could be a banner ceremony. I mean, it's just things that aren't typical uses of the right. It's explained here in the permit. So parades, block parties, celebrations, marathons, just other things than vehicular traffic in the right of way.
So this is not giving the engineering department, it's actually giving the city the ability to say yes to a parade.
No. It's giving the city the ability to do that in Wayne County right of way without having to go and ask them for permission. So they've given us permission to do these things. We sign this is approved, and we can do what's listed in here. So we can have parade in Wayne County right of way. It's in Highland Park. We don't have to go and submit an individual application, say, can I do this? No, it's zero. It's $0.
So has the water department always been in charge of the permits and special events? Is this my first time seeing?
Yeah, so we're getting a right-of-way permit for a use, but we're not issuing a permit for what you're explaining, for parades or anything like that. You would have to go and get the permit that you always get, because that's in Highland Park's right of way. This is in Wayne County's right of way.
So this special events permit is just for Wayne County, right?
Yes. So all of our streets are maintained by the city of Highland Park. So this is, McNichols or something like that. That's Wayne County. That's not Highland Park. So it's a good thing. It's allowing us to do what we need to do, maintenance and these things in there right away without going to pay a fee and submit plans and all that kind of stuff.
So, Mr. Garrett, we've always gotten this. This is just our annual permit
That's
that we
correct.
apply for every year,
That's
correct?
correct. That's correct.
And then that special event would be the city, not an individual coming
Correct.
and saying, hey, I have the right of way. You know, we already have a special permit. An individual would still have to come to the city and say, hey, can I have a parade here?
That is correct.
So, but this is our annual,
Yeah.
and we apply for this every year.
We do.
So in saying that, if somebody wanted to have a parade in the right of way, can you shoot that down?
We haven't been involved in issuing permits for parades in the right of way. That's not under our purview.
Any more questions? Madam Clerk, can you call for the vote, please?
Councilman Ashafi?
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin?
Yes.
Councilwoman Manica?
Yes.
Council Pro Tem Robinson?
Yes. Okay, here we are again at citizen participation, and you may speak pertaining to any subject.
Greetings again.
Yes.
Ms. Clerk, I would like to have all of what you said in writing, and I'd like the report from that first inspection dated, because I did not receive anything. And I talked with that inspector at that time. And what you all are talking about is not the right thing. So I would like a report handwritten given to me.
Okay.
And all what needs to be done.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Boyd. How are you?
My name is Janice by White. I just want to ask, we've talked about how much, we pay for water and how many, all these, I'm thinking about these lots. Every year, I'm hearing we spend over $300,000 on vacant lots because they're not being sold. And probably over the last few years, it's probably now over $1 million. Can the lots be sold so the city, can free up some of the money? Most of the people before the process, they have to be approved through CDE. Is it CDE? CED or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. What's his name is doing his process of making sure that they have whatever's needed. And when they come to city council, it should be a go.
Yes.
Because I think I can't forget his name. That's not here today. The director. Carlton. Right. When you go before Carlton, he said, no, you're not ready. No, you're this. But when they come before him, you guys, because he's done his job, it should be automatic. And all those lots and properties, what have you, it's just a weird night. Water bills for the runoff on the lots that people should be paying. It's not happening in the city because council won't approve it. I just wonder why. It's just really putting a damper on things. Is there a reason once Carlton does his job that he gets paid for when they, unless it's more work he should be doing? But when they come before you guys, it should be automatic. It should be no reason.
Ask Carlton for is for the people that are purchasing the lots to adhere to the rules after they purchase the lots.
Absolutely.
And to stipulate that in the purchase of the lots.
Yeah.
We haven't seen that.
After they leave Carlton's position?
When they leave Carlton, they should have in writing what they're going to do with the lots and when, because then that's where we go all the way back to our ordinances. We don't have any teeth in our ordinance. So enforce.
So when they come before you guys, they don't have anything in right that says this is going to be just a fencing area for my,
And
background.
if you ride through most of them, they're not fenced in.
Right. Well, something's missing right here because,
Yes, ma'am.
those lots
Yes,
should be an
ma'am.
easy,
It should
you know,
be.
you pay the application
Yes.
fee, you talk to Carlton,
Yes.
and you guys, you know, and, but we're spending water
Yes.
bill money every month on those lots,
Yes.
and we're not making any money off in as many lots in the city. Okay, I just hope there's some kind of link and, you know,
Yes.
once it come to you guys, it could be just a go.
Yes.
Because I don't see so many people that come here ready and get turned down, and I thought Carlton was approving them before it came to you guys.
I understand. No, I
Okay,
feel
thank you.
Thank you. Hello.
Good evening, council.
Good evening.
My name is Derek Hale, and I'm with Commissioner Martha G. Scott's office. And I just wanted to invite everyone to our coffee hour that's going to be coming up on February the 24th at the Main Street Restaurant in Hamtramck at 11650 Joseph Campo from 9 to 10 a.m. But also at this upcoming coffee hour, we're going to have a representative from the Hamtramck Drug-Free Community Coalition. We're going to be having Narcan training. What that deals with the opioid use and trying to save lives with Narcan.
Okay, Main Street.
Yes. So I invite everyone there. I do have a couple flyers for anyone that would like to attend, but I think it's going to be worthwhile coming because that's a major issue dealing with the opioid crisis.
Any more citizens?
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Joyce Sims, and I'm from Holy Ghost Temple Church, located at 809 Oakman Boulevard. And on December 2nd, we were here requesting the purchase of 2 lots, 126 and 130 Kendall. Those lots are behind our church. We were requesting it for parking as well as a green space for community events. At that meeting, Councilman Shafi asked if the definition adjacent lots included lots behind or across an alley. And that was supposed to be given to the city attorney to provide a definition of that. I am here now asking if that definition has been provided.
Attorney, can you answer that?
I don't recall providing that definition. I can have that ready for the next meeting.
Can we get a time frame?
We'll make sure that we get a time.
Thank you. Sure. 313-605-9280.
9280.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Good evening again. My name is Renee Ford and I live on West Buena Vista. I understand you did the little process and you wanted us to write our questions down and
That was just so you, that was, don't worry about it.
I know, because it didn't work because my question didn't get answered. Because she touched on it.
We thought you asked when you came to.
I did ask, but you said when you write your questions down,
We got to,
Give me your question.
our thing yet.
I asked the question. I wrote it down and I asked the question. Kershie was the only one that partially answered the question, but legally, nobody answered the question. So my question is, again, is the city treasurer bonded? And if not, what is the holdup? Again, it was brought up that the deputy treasurer was not bonded. Who's signing these checks? And again, where is my property tax money going to? And who's sending out the bills? Because I can't afford $548 again for property taxes. Wait a minute. My 3 minutes are not up. 3 seconds or whatever. I'm gonna, thank you. Again, the plow truck, I'm agreeing with if we could get it cheaper, get it cheaper. But before we agree to purchase something, doesn't it need to be inspected by MDOT, the state? Again, when you put out stuff and you say you're gonna do something, please answer my question.
Don't go anywhere, Ms. Ford.
I'm not. Hey, I'm back. It's Carla Oliver.
Okay, Ms. Carla. Yes.
So, I just want to make a quick comment about the truck. Well, you already know.
Come on.
So ultimately, I still don't agree. You know, you guys do what you want to do, but the purchase of a truck makes no sense. There's also a van at DPW that's never utilized because it's not comparable for the stuff they do. They can be used to transport products and supplies for the fire department and food. So that's saving money right there. Also, I want to speak. I no longer work for GM, but I'm also I've been an engineer for GM for 10 years. I'm very familiar with these trucks. Talk about apples and oranges. There's no significant difference between the design for 24 or 25, but also 22 and 24 that will affect anything with engine capability. The only things that changed were interior, some sound and software, and a little bit of suspension that's basically focused on off-road.
Yeah.
So that should help to determine that there's no major difference to say why you can't get a 22 versus a 24. Just want to put that out there, but that's not really why I came up here. Okay, well, I'm gonna go real fast. So water department questions, because I also saw the letter that was sent around. It was sent to me as well. But there's a question that I've been asking when I was an employee. I've asked this question before I was an employee at City of Highland Park, and it's been brushed underneath the table. I am asking in public, which I think is better for me to stand here than in City Hall because I'm able to ask things in public. I'm asking for in writing for the water department to give in detail the contract and obligations that's required for what water ready to serve and sewage ready to serve actually entails. It's not clear. Please provide a detailed synopsis of everything those charges are related to. And then also the question is where does that particular money go? In addition to that, I know it was mentioned about it being on property taxes, the water bills going on property taxes. Technically, the water bills have been estimated bills, not accurate, right? This is way before GLEWA. So the question is, how fair is that to put that on property taxes of residents when we don't have actual bills or amounts to say this is what it actually is? How are we going to put that on the residents for them to be obligated to pay and possibly lose their homes for property taxes increases that they can't afford for estimated billing?
Yes.
That's it.
Mr. Garrett, when can we have that information she just asked about? Mr. Garrett. You over there? Mr. Garrett.
I'm looking. She asked.
Okay.
So, or explanation of writing, right?
Yes.
So before the next meeting?
God bless you. Before the next meeting.
Okay, will it be sent in an email to y'all or how will it be sent?
However it be sent, I'll make sure.
Yeah, I want to see it before the next meeting. I'm coming at every single meeting from
Okay.
here on out.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
So yeah. Well, I'm trying, look, I'm here. You know, I'm
Any more to
Yes. Good evening.
Good evening.
I have a question for Mr. Damon. Oh, first, Ms. Sims came up and asked about the lot for the Holy Ghost Temple.
Yes.
Now, she was here last year.
Okay.
You gave her a runaround then. But what's the difference, what she's asking for than the guy with the barbershop? I can't think of his name.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. What's the difference between what she's asking for than Petway got? So why do she have to wait when he didn't have to wait? I'm waiting. Or do I have to wait for that? I also was on Highland. There is a building, which is a church. They have a lot across the street from them, but y'all putting Holy Ghost temper through all this commotion, and I'm here to accomplish her. I want to know why. And I don't think that should have went to the attorney, because the rest of them didn't go through the attorney. So I want you to think about that. Now, Mr. Garrett, I would like to know how many pumps, water yards do Highland Park have? And do you maintain those pumps also? And do we have security in those areas? Also, I want to ask about the pipes that's to be laid for the master water meter. Is that in place? Or do I have to wait for these answers later? Or are you going to answer them today?
We have no active pumps right now in the city.
Why?
Our water plant was decommissioned, was shut down in 2012. We don't, because of the way our system is set up, we don't need to pump water. We're on emergency feed. So we have no active pumps. So that's the answer to that question.
Now, I asked you, how many water pumps and stations do Highland Park own? Example, like the one on DeQuinda?
2 properties, the water plant property and one Houston Whittier, which is in Detroit. So we have 2 properties that we own. No active pumps on them. Houston Whittier was gutted. There's nothing in that building. It's a shell building.
So are they secure? Do we have any security checking the area out, or they just there?
I don't.
Not the last time I drove
We
by.
don't have any security right now.
So they just like standing alone. We own them, but no one is protecting that area.
They're not operational.
So that means no security in that area.
No, there isn't.
Mr. Damon.
Yes, it is.
Then that Mr. Damon answered, because this is gonna go further than that he's answering.
Well, both of those are not in the city.
Okay.
They're in Detroit.
Yeah, but see, they belong to Highland Park, right? Yeah, okay. So I noticed during your, the budget, you stated that you did maintenance. Was this, and the reason I'm asking this, was maintenance towards those yards or just at the water department? At the end of your budget sheet, I saw where there was a list of maintenance, and that's when I asked you, what do we own, city yards and pumps? Do you include those two? You're just speaking, okay. Oh, okay. Okay, now, the last one. Are the pipes laid for the master water meter?
No.
Okay, now, but isn't there a certain time for that?
Project is supposed to be completed on April 25th this year.
Okay, do you think we'll be able to do that, finish?
I can't answer.
Okay, if we do not have that in place, is there a penalty on Highland Park?
There will be a violation of the legal agreement that we have, but I don't know if you were here during the presentation. Legal every week. So we anticipate there's going to be delays. We can ask for schedule, so we would avoid them.
Okay. Well, I don't know who I should ask this statement. Can you tell me if the water bill is paid up to date, Ms. Square?
Yes, they take the money.
But is it paid up to date?
They take it from a trust.
Okay.
We don't pay, they have taken, we don't have the ability to pay anything. They intercept it. We don't even get it.
Okay, so I'm taking your word that up to date, the water bill have been.
That is a consent order that the city entered into. And last thing we want to be is back in court with legal.
Okay. So the end of this conversation, I thank you all for allowing me to talk. So I'm saying this to you, Mr. Damon. You're saying that if the pipes and the master water not in place, the Highland Park will not be penalized for that.
If they're not in place, we be penalized. What I'm saying is we meet with them on a regular basis. And
Okay.
if we think there's schedule delays based on the construction, then we would advise and ask for them to schedule. That's what I'm saying. But there's other things that go into whether that project is complete. Which was covered tonight.
All right, then. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, do I get an answer by Mrs. Sims?
Community Council Affairs. Somebody could probably answer you.
So can you tell me how long that is?
Good evening.
Good evening.
To the mayor, city council,
Can you state your name?
B. Anthony Holly, B. Anthony Holly. To the mayor, city council, appreciate your all service. Citizens, I am just wanted to say two things, maybe three. I'm truly disappointed at the lack of decorum that we saw here today. I encourage everybody to be better, to do better. The world is watching us, and I would rather the world not continue to watch us fall apart and be the trope of Black leadership failing. Thank you. Two, we've seen parties involved called to speak on every issue, whether it was fire, development, water, legal, but I find it interesting that conveniently we did not allow the treasurer to speak to the issue before we jumped to a vote and cut her off while she was expressing what the situation was and possibly what support she may have needed to resolve the issue. I think that that was a missed opportunity and it was very disappointing.
And I will address that.
And yeah, that was just unacceptable.
I'll address that.
The treasure bond issue should not, at this point, in my humble opinion, should not be a mystery to any of you. It should not be a mystery to any of you. And we demand that our elected officials work with the treasurer to get bonded. No scapegoating. Let's figure this out. That's the second thing. Thank you.
Thank you.
The last thing is, this is the third time I've come before this body regarding this issue. And this is just to keep it simple because my time is running short. Third time addressing this issue, city workers using city equipment to knock a large hole in the brick wall, damaging the structure of property that I own on Wall Street. Everyone from the mayor, legal, Department of Public Works, police department is in the know, is informed, has been reached out to for support, for response. The only body that has been responsive has been Police Chief McMahon, who reached out to me and to legal multiple times at the conclusion, during his investigation, at the conclusion of his investigation. His investigation found the city responsible, point blank period. City equipment was used to damage private property. And as I understand it, is in the hands of legal. This has made it a year since this original police report has been filed. It has been since May, since legal has promised me a response. And what it communicates to me is that nothing gets answered from the city unless lawsuits are involved. And that is very unfortunate. And you have all have had ample opportunity to resolve this matter amicably. And so I need answers, legal.
Can I ask a question? How much is the claim?
How much?
How much is it?
We haven't even gotten that far, ma'am. I haven't even had a correspondence with legal.
Because usually when damage is done to someone's property, they present a bill to the city. That's a demand. So if they hit your house and cause $50,000 worth of damage, you're supposed to bring them a $50,000 bill so they can pay a claim.
Okay, I appreciate that feedback. As a resident, I wanted to have a respectful conversation with my city on what the steps were to take.
Give the city a bill.
And this is the first, and this is the first information that I've received to that.
Yeah, I would have somebody come out, give you a quote, maybe get a couple quotes, and present that to the city. It happens. Trees fall on people's houses, city trees. Right. Trees fall on cars. The homeowner then presents something to the city. Right. City, your tree fell on my house, pay this bill.
Okay.
That's how it gets processed.
With all due respect, that was never communicated to me. It was communicated to me that I would be waiting a response from legal, which has not happened, which is what I'm addressing right now.
I'm telling you now, out. And that's, you need to get some quotes and present those. Present them to the mayor, copy the law department, and then get your claim process like that.
I stand on my statement. I need answers from legal though, because it's unacceptable that it's been since May 2024. It took till May, from February to May to get a response from legal, and it's February 2025.
Have no contacted in legal.
It's an amorphous entity. You know, we don't know who we're talking to. It just says, legal. This matter is under investigation. It will be resolved. You will be contacted. Okay. To my understanding, Police Chief McMahon has already done the investigation. That's an inside investigation. What else is there to investigate? I haven't been asked for any information. It'd be different if they were asking me for quotes and I failed to provide them. So I need answers. No, this is via email correspondence, but I don't want to take up too much time, but I do need an answer from legal. And yeah, like I said, you're forcing my hand. I appreciate the feedback. I really, we shouldn't have to, as citizens, we should be able to engage with our representatives, whatever department it is, and get answers on what the process is. Thank y'all for your time.
Thank you, Ben.
I do need a response from legal.
Yeah. Thank you. Any more citizens?
Council President,
We have somebody.
yes, Mark Ashley
Okay.
Price.
Okay, Mark.
Thank you. Again, this is Mark Ashley Price. I'm a citizen district advisory council member from District 3. I have 2 points. My first point is that I agree with what B. Anthony just mentioned. I pretty much agree with everything what he just said. And 2, I think that Council Pro Tem did an amazing job in terms of being the president of this meeting. She did an awesome job, and she's one of my favorite council people. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you. Do we have any more citizen participation? If not, we're moving. Any more online?
No.
Blackie?
No.
Thank you. Council Affairs? Councilman Shaw.
Good evening, everyone. Ms. White, you asked about the lots. You actually stood there and asked about the lots, and you have actually, just by being here, you answered your own question. You're the standard. You did exactly what you were supposed to do. You fenced your lot in, you maintained it, you kept your word across the board and never deviated from it. That's what we want from anybody that buys something from the city of Highland Park, is they keep their word and do what they promised that they would do. So, right. Well, right. So that process can be a little slow, and it's probably because we're so thorough. You know what I'm saying? I mean, instead of us just approving anything, we thoroughly look things over before, because we don't want to be that council that just rubber stamps anything. We want every action that we make to benefit this city in every shape, form, fashion possible. Okay. No. It all right. It automatically comes back to us. Ms. Ford, I'm going to address yours a little bit as well. Ladies and gentlemen, I am so tired, so drained. It's like the life is being sucked out of me sitting up here. How many bites of this shit sandwich are you going to take before you've had enough? How many bites are you going to take? 3, 4, 27? I mean, this is a big sandwich. How many bites of it are you going to take? I tell you over and over, I'm one individual here. If I don't have your support, nothing gets done. You are the employers. We are the employees. Okay? Everything And you can tell just from tonight how wishy-washy and backwards things can be here. We have different set of standards and rules for various people that we like and don't like. I don't like that. Now, one thing that can be said about me sitting up here is I may not like you, but one thing I will be is fair to you. Because it's not my job to sit up here and dictate who I like and who I don't like. My job is to serve this community and give everybody an equal footing, no matter how I feel about it. Okay? But we take things so personal. Oh, I don't like you. I'm going to hold up your business license. 24 years for Nani operating in this city. The last 2 years, she done called pure hell under this new administration with her license. Now, I don't know who's playing the game. But one thing I can say for sure, I'm positive that it's not Miss Brown. Okay? I don't know who's playing this game here. But 24 years of operating and all of a sudden she can't get a business license, unacceptable. But we pick and choose. As you saw here tonight. We pick and choose what we're going to do and what we don't do. And as far as to the church, man, you are absolutely right. Over there on Highland, we gave lots across the alley to that building. And I had forgotten about that until somebody reminded me of it. And I've been waiting on your particular item to come back to this council. It has not found its way back here. I have personally asked the mayor when this item was going to come back before us. She's actually working on it right now. Because I had been said that we need to fix these problems. Okay. See, for me, I can't function, I can't sleep without equality. I can't sleep. Because what runs across my mind is, if I'm gonna sit here and allow them to do it to you, and you supposed to be their friend, they hate my guts. Imagine what they're gonna do to me. I can't function like that. There's another guy. He lives in the blue house on Louise. He wanted the lot across the alley from him. We told him no. That's got to be remedied. If we gave the lots to the people on Highland and their lots is across the alley, then the church is entitled to theirs, and the man on Louise is entitled to his. We have to fix these. Okay, but for the longest time, we were told for the last 2 years and 2 months, adjacent was to the right or to the left of you. In fact, if you go back into the minutes, they argued us down. No, it's to the right or to the left of you. You can't give it across the alley. Now all of a sudden it's across the damn alley. We need to make consistency here. This is what I'm talking about the chaos of this little ass city. This 2.9 square mile little ass city. Somebody help me here. I'm losing my damn mind here. And I'm gonna ask you again, how many bites of this shit sandwich are you going to take? How many bites you going to take before you've had enough? Maybe when they shove your ass out onto the damn street, you'll get the message then. Maybe that'll happen. Our legacy so far for these last 2 years, the only positive thing that we managed to get done was this ACO that took a $60 million debt off the back of you. And that barely made it. Those of you who follow me know that barely made it. We had to fight for that ACO because they wanted to kill it. They said, no, you can handle that $60 million. Why not slap it on your backs? Sure, every resident in this city can take a $22,000 hit per property. Some of you got multiple properties. I got 3 of them. That's 60 grand. I don't have that. So we fought like hell to get that ACO. And the whole time, we got nothing but resistance from the city. We got rid of a $60 million debt for you. And what do we get in return? Oh, we don't like that deal. Okay, well, maybe you like to pay that $60 million fee. I need your help here, HP. I can't keep doing this alone. And you can't keep silent. You can't sit here and fold your arms and roll your eyes, but unwilling to roll up your sleeves and get dirty here with me. This is a dirty game here. Remember, politicians are just like diapers. They should be changed often and for the same damn reason. You can't keep putting the same people in position of power and authority and you expect a different outcome. That's the exact definition of insanity, ladies and gentlemen. If we want better, we have to demand better. You have to demand better. I can sit up here and talk to them blue in the face. Without your support, I'm wasting my time. And if I'm wasting my time, I need you to let me know I'm wasting my time so I can move on. I don't want to hear any more complaints. I want to hear you roll up your sleeves and get down and dirty with me. Because one thing about it, if enough of you stand up, they'll get the message real quick. Because they definitely want to be reelected, or they'll get that message extremely quick. You talk about some sweet Georgia Brown ass kissing, they'll give it to you. I promise you that. So, ladies and gentlemen, I need you to stand up. I need your voices to be heard. I need you to let me, this council, and this administration know exactly what you want and which direction you want to be headed in. I got no problem listening. I'm just not hearing nothing from anybody but silence and negativity from those who play on the other side of the fence. We have to do better, HB. It's only 2.9 square miles. There should not be this much chaos in this city. We are not Detroit. We are not Ferndale. We're not Royal Oak. We're not none of these cities. We're 2.9 square miles of probably the blackest place on earth. Let's get it together, HB. And I yield back.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. Is it Renee? Is that your name? Right? Raina. I definitely wanted to hear what you had to say about, you said something about lack of water.
Yeah, so I did, because I'm sick and tired of it. My mother died in 2004. She has been fighting with Highland Park, calling about a house next door where they living in a house where there's no water and there's no heat. So that means if she burned her, my shit going down. And the next person next to me going down. I have talked to Glenda, I don't know how many times. I have talked to who was the guy to write the ticket? I have talked to him 550 times. She stole the cell phone. Last week, I worked from home. Madison Heights police came beating on my door. I got the video. He almost knocked my glass out. I had to call. First of all, Madison Heights police do not have a right to come in this city without letting Highland Park police know that they're in the city looking for a cell phone. He knocking on my glass, so I went out there and he wouldn't even give me no information. I had to call his supervisor. His supervisor finally gave me the description of the person who took the cell phone. Well, when I found out the description, that's to the left. Just last week, I'm sleeping and a crackhead out there prying my garage door open. I'm tired. I'm tired. At this point, I'm about to say they can have my mama's house and I can go. Geneva. So just like I told him last week, these temperatures are dropping. How are you warming your house? You warm in your house with a heater or something.
Mm-hmm.
So there's boards still on the house. I can't see if that house go up in flames. I'm scared. I'm working from home so I can keep an eye on my house.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even get no insurance on the house because they're telling me I'm living next to an abandoned house. When the police came to the house and beat on the door, I said, why you didn't go and beat on her door? You know what he told me? The house abandoned.
Wow. I'm glad you why did they choose your house? Wow.
That's the same thing I asked him.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because my house looks like somebody lived there. It's supposed to look like you live there.
Right.
That's what we're supposed to do.
Right.
Maintain their house. That's what I'm trying to do. Keep my mother and father's legacy and maintain their house.
Mm-hmm.
Cut the grass. Keep up the property. Make it look like somebody, but I'm living next door. They've been over there since 2007. The board's been on the window since 2007. So if our house go up in flames, I can't see.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody, she keep giving me the runaround. Oh, I came and put them out. When you came and put them out, they was still right back in there.
Who owns that house?
Yeah, I was just about to ask, is that a city-owned piece of property?
No, from what I was told, I talked to you. She told me that land bank sold them the house. The house was supposed to be condemned, to tell you the truth, because everything in the house was tore up.
Mm-hmm.
The people that lived in it before had busted all the pipes because he was mad at the landlord.
Mm-hmm.
They tore up all the pipes outside the house. They came and put a D on the house to be tore down.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody bought the house and paid it over. We had been going back and forth to get the squatters out. I took my money and my mama's money and we went and bought boards to board the house up to keep squatters going in and out. When I found out that they moved in the house, one of the neighbors called me and said somebody was in the house. Obviously, she had a beef with her because the police came.
Mm.
So she think I called the police, which I don't care. But at this point, the boards gotta come off. Something gotta be done. Cause I'm not about to keep maintaining, watching cameras. I had to put cameras all the way. I'm not about to keep watching, jumping up in the middle of the night. You smell something, that's not fair.
Yeah.
If I pay my taxes and my water bill to maintain my house, you should do the same thing.
What, do you know what address that house is?
150.
150.
Huh?
150 Virginia.
Thank you, Ms. Gilbert. They told me they'd get back to me. They ain't got back to me. Just like I told y'all you about that house across the street. I said somebody need to go board the house up. 15 minutes later, after I leave the house, I get a neighbor calling me telling me the house is in.
Okay, so the next thing I wanted to talk about is Ms. Sims. I want to take a look at that church and see that lot that's adjacent and see what the whole, I never got a chance to look at it. I do want to see it for myself and see what it is that we really are, why we stagnated or still on that. I don't know. I do remember the last time you did talk, legal was supposed to find out because we were supposed to find out adjacent and what that really meant. It never got back to us. So I do want to see that for myself so I have a better idea of what it is I'm voting on, what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna go take a look at that. Ms. White, you talked about lots. I'm gonna have to agree with Mr. Shafi. You know, when I'm voting on a lot and when a person brings it to me and tells me what their plans are, I am always thinking about the residents. When you come out your door, I'm always thinking about what it is that you're going to see, because you don't want to see blight. You don't want to see if somebody buys a lot and then all they do is park a whole bunch of cars that ain't running, ain't working. Nobody, right, but people do it. Has anybody seen that in the city where they have a lot and they're putting parked cars there and they're not running? Yes. They're out here. So, you know what I'm saying? So I have to think about what it is. That's why I ask, I do my due diligence. I go take a look at it. I always drive by a lot. Then I ask, okay, so I already see what condition their house is in already. Because if it's not in a condition, I'm not gonna assume that they're gonna take care of the lot and their property they're not taking care of. So that's a couple of things I look
The
at.
application, what you just said.
Right.
That's up to Carlton. That's
But,
up to Carlton.
but it doesn't happen. I don't know if he drives by. I can't say that he does not.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, I know one gentleman, I went by and the lot that he was looking at, he had already fenced it in and there was a couple of other things that were just all over the place. So that's the reason why it was a no for me. I always think about that. I always think about the resident if I'm going to sell a lot.
They could be paying for that lot and the water and the taxes. The people you telling no and get a fine.
Right, but at the same time, you talk about they pay water, they pay taxes, but then they live next door to you and they have cars parked there. You know what I'm saying? You ain't want to see that.
The department, the code enforcer.
Right, but haven't we just said, you heard that they've been dropping $500 5 tickets, 500 of them, and they're still hasn't changed.
But if they drop the ticket, why are they not going to?
Right.
This is one of the.
You see what I'm saying? It's a continuous cycle that we need to, but that's us in administration.
Ms. Mark.
It's the lot sold.
Can I interject? But one of the things that I said, hold on, Ms. Manica, one of the things that I initiated when I was the former director, and this is the problem, lack of communication, lack of people actually executing things and people doing the bare minimum. It's been proposed that there should be a timeline when things need to get done for people that want to buy property. If it's not done, then you should be charged. I've also went to legal, asking them to start a garnishment project process.
That's a great idea.
That are getting charged, these tickets are being ignored, then garnishment should be in place.
But then you want to ask for money, you ask for money.
And then I'm going to continue. I'm going to continue on with that. The Anthony, we have talked about your property for a while. I thought it was resolved. I'm glad you came up here and said something. Definitely would love to see that invoice. And I agree with Lisa being bonded. I think not only is that our responsibility, I think it's our responsibility as a whole. Her not being bonded affects us all. It affects everybody. So why is the application? And then I'm even curious, what is a blanket bond? The other thing I'm going to add is everybody wasn't here at this workshop. I know Mr. Burgess said something about was it 150,000 grant for solar panel lights, and supposedly we haven't used that grant. I don't know why we're going to miss out on that money. That's additional lights that could be out here in the city. I don't know why we're not talking to Solidarity and getting some solar panel lights out here. I don't know why that's not happening. The next thing I want to add, I do want to leave with this part. I want to say thank you to my CDAC group. They did meet together. They had a great meeting. And I can't wait to see what projects they're going to work on next. So thank you. Have a great night. And I'm going to pass it on back to me.
Councilman Martin, can I ask a question regarding the properties behind our church? So if we're interested in purchasing a property, you're saying we should fence it in prior to purchasing it?
No.
Oh,
No.
okay. Okay.
I'm just going to look at that and we'll talk. I'm done. Well, yeah, let me speak last.
Good afternoon. Normally I have resources. Today I'm just going to respond. And that is, we cannot be expected nor right historical wrongs. We can only move forward in our progress. So earlier we had a workshop, and at that workshop, it was brought up that we have got to prioritize so that we could get to everything that everyone is talking about, because it appears that it falls under ordinance or things that we need to correct. I've said this before. We're not going to correct everything right away. And then I've also said before is that we have ordinance that have not been followed. We have laws that have not been followed. And so now that we are trying to follow them, as Mr. Shafi alluded to a little bit, we get the pushback. But you asked us to follow the ordinance. You asked us to do what was supposed to be done. And then when it doesn't fit or suit you, Now it's an issue. So again, I'm going to say we need to start and correct, and we do have a new company that's in here to do that. In the workshop, he stated that. We're working on revising or writing our ordinance, putting more teeth in them, making sure they're accurate, making sure they fit 2025. That's not going to happen overnight. I am so sorry. I am a resident as well. Have some of those same issues. Have somebody down the block living in a house. So I get it and I understand. That doesn't help, and I know. So what I would say is, again, just keep telling us, just keep, and I know it's tiresome. Believe me, I understand. I keep telling, I keep saying. So I understand the young man, and I'll go through sort of. Mr. Anthony, is your last name Anthony, sir? I wasn't quite sure, and I'm not sure if legal sure. What is it that you want legal to send to you? Because Miss Square actually gave you your next step. So even if legal contacts you, he's probably going to say, maybe, I don't know, but the same thing. Can you please tell us how much the cost is to repair whatever the city did for you, so that we can move you on in that process versus waiting on legal who haven't gotten to you already. You understand what I'm saying? They already haven't gotten to you. So just hear me out. They already haven't in I don't know how many months or whatever. So Kathy Square, I'm sorry, Miss Kathy Square just said, which is the same thing I was going to say. How much is it? Because nothing's going, I'm going to be honest with you, until the city knows what it is, they're not going to move it's not going to move. I'm just being honest. That's not necessarily us, but it's just not going to move. And that's with anything. If I go run into you and you say, I need to fix your car, I won't ask you how much it is and where it's at. So we're telling you.
Reimburse me for hiring a architect and a structural engineer to come and give me a quote for the damage that's done to my property? Or should I add that to the lawsuit?
Add it. Okay, so then therefore it will go through whatever channel it needs to go through. In regards to the lots, it's easy to set out there, and sometimes you don't get all the information that we receive or what we know. And so to you, it looks like, oh, I just gave a lot to XYZ. I think we all sit here and we do it for whatever reasons, but we do our due diligence to drive by, to look at it, talk about it, and find out. So you all mentioned the barbershop, right? In actuality, what you did not see was it was not the person at the barbershop who asked us for the lot. He just stood there in place of the lady, which happens to be his sister. You didn't see that. Really none of nobody else's business, if you're to be honest with you. But the barbershop did not apply. Okay, so those are things that need to come forward, and not necessarily to you, but maybe in whatever department, they got to clearly. So I agree that departments have to clearly talk to you and tell you what's happening and explain to you why or why not. That is not happening. I will agree. Our departments may not always clearly do that. Some of you are shaking in belief. Some of you are shaking in disbelief. Fact of the matter is that all situations are not the same. We all agree that you guys should have those two back there. We were just trying to figure out the best way to make it happen. For whatever reason, we are taking too long to respond. So I'm saying something I've said previously is that we need to stop adding all these things to our agenda, go back and see what has not been completed nor finished. Now, understand this, residents, that also goes for people who have purchased lots or property. And if in those agreements, there are things you have not done that you should have done in 6 months, a year, etc., that includes you. You will also get a ticket or a citation or whatever it is. I'm not up for discussion on that. So I am saying, please understand this. Maybe you understand, somebody else does not. Here's my last thing on water. Man, water bills. Woo. Besides me saying to get assistance, I am also saying, consider that when you want to purchase additional properties right now. Because somewhere along the way, somebody said, hey, you better get a property before everybody else get it. You better do this, but nobody said to you, this comes with that. And so please do your due diligence to make sure you know what's going on. But nothing else, certain circumstances, we got to figure out where they fit. Is it something that we don't control, like LEWA? We don't control them. But the more people we have using water or here, the less it happens for you. I can only explain it in buying items terms. That item you purchasing at $5,000 and only 3 people buying it. When 20 people buy it, they willing to drop the price a little bit. And now more people can buy it. Does that make sense? It's not making sense to some people. Thank you. It's of supply and demand. Same thing here. We do not have enough people buying into the water, if you will call it that, for your water bill to fall. Not your bill, but certain things on your water bill to come down. Okay, so there's some things that we control and we don't. So I know that there's going to be town hall meetings for those specific things. And that's where you should be to ask your questions. When the water department has a town hall meeting, that's where you should be. When the mayor has her town hall, that's where you should be. I'm not being mean. I'm just being honest. Those are the places you ask a lot of those questions that you're asking because they're a little bit more extensive and maybe they can explain it to you a little better. But unfortunately, that's where we are. And I just want us to go forward, guys. And so going back to bonding, I'm sorry. No, I don't feel like it's my responsibility. But what I do feel like is that we need to start making conscious decisions, whether you say it or not. You come up here and say we being favored or we having a favorite this or favor that. You have a favor too. That's why you keep coming. That's why you keep telling, but you're negating the facts. You're negating facts. And so as it stands, that's how the vote went. And so now I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know if this really calls for, why did you elect her? That would be the question. When we talk about, everyone want to talk about election. No, I wasn't asking. I was not asking, but I'm just saying there's people out there in Highland Park that could actually come and be the treasurer if that's the case, or any other positions, period. You do not step forward. You're not standing up. You're not coming out. You're not saying, hey, me, let me try. That's what we did. I'm gonna be honest, that's what we did. We said, hey, let us try. Let us figure it out. But instead, now you want to punish us or you want to say what we're not doing. We are. Ordinance first. We're going to clear up the ordinance so that they can be put out so you know. We're going to do it for everything. And be honest with you, you're going to have these same problems until that gets done. I'm just being honest. Fact, if the ordinance don't get changed, we still in the same spot. If we don't find out if the ordinance fixed and then put some teeth in it, you're still in the same spot. And we cannot continue in this manner. And just, we cannot. I didn't mean to go over, I didn't mean to talk, but this is just getting to be redundant. And so I'm asking that we look at our workshop and look at our agenda and try to we need to clear up things that have not been cleared up so that we can move forward. Because I will agree, I'm tired of seeing people park on the grass. I can't do it. I'm tired of seeing a lot of things with businesses. I took a picture. I wasn't gonna talk. I took a picture of another city. They was out there shoveling their snow in front of their business. But I get the business owners here say, oh, that's Highland Park. Highland Park need to do it.
Airline just got $40,000 ticket for not cleaning up snow around their park.
So we need to put some teeth. And I will agree with you guys. So, and that's what I'm saying that to say, that's what we're doing. That's what we're trying. But again, ladies and gentlemen, it's not going to happen tomorrow. Not every single one of them. And we cannot be, you can tell me that, and I shouldn't even be responding, but I'm going to respond. I don't care what happened 2 years ago. I'm talking about what's happening right now. So I can't do nothing about the last administration, nor can anybody in this building do anything about the last administration and their choices and what they do. We can only do what we do now and where we start from. And we started in 2 years ago, and it takes time. So I am done with my conversation. If you would like to have a discussion with me, I will be here for a few minutes afterwards, or we can find a time and a date that we can have a conversation.
No, when I talked about the snow, when I just happened to ride down over here, the post office, I noticed only one side was snow, the rest of the steps got snow on it. And I said to myself, it wasn't shoveled. And I said to myself, did they just shovel that part of the steps because that's the only door that's open? But the rest of the steps on the post office have snow on it. Like, whoever's supposed to do it, why couldn't they just take the snow off all the steps?
So, I'm not supposed to respond. I'm really not, but I'm gonna respond. Did you go in there and ask them?
No, this was just tonight. This is my first time
okay.
seeing it. Yes.
Please go tomorrow and ask them.
Yeah, this is just tonight.
Because we don't control that, but please go in there, go into business. Say, hey, how you doing? Ms. Martin, I noticed you only shoveled half of your snow. Did you tell me why? Because I walked up the other side.
Snow blower ran out of.
So you, and I'm not being mean by all means. I'm just saying that's an example of go in these businesses, go in these places and say, hey, I need you to shovel out front because I'm almost failed. So hold them accountable because you holding us accountable for something I really can't control. And I'm not going to answer nobody else out there.
Are you done?
I am done.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
I want to thank all y'all for coming out because this means a lot to me when y'all show up. It's like I said, and everybody keeps saying, our strength is in our numbers and we got to stand together and get this together. And I understand your plight. I know exactly what you're talking about and I know what's going on because I've talked about it to some people and we're going to get on that ASAP. And I'm telling you that. And I'll have some questions, some answers for you tomorrow about that. And Lisa is out of town right now, taking care of some heavy personal problems. I didn't know that she was going to be online today. I didn't want to bother her because of those heavy personal problems. So to answer your question, B. Anthony, I didn't let her speak because we already have voted. And I didn't want to pressure her because she's having these personal problems. So I was being considerate of her personal problems. That's why she didn't speak. Because I would have gave her 2 hours to speak and explain. Okay. And as far as everything else, we working on it, y'all. That's all I got to say. And y'all got to keep coming and showing up and helping us. and let us know what's wrong so we can fix it. Because if y'all don't tell us what's wrong, we can't fix it. We can't. I go knock on doors and ask people what's wrong. I text people, I say, you okay, what's wrong? What can I do? Because when I was walking and doing my campaign, we shook hands and we made promises to each other that they were going to help me to get our city together. And I asked them to pray for me. Someone prayed on the spot. They said, we got to do it together, y'all.
See what you said, but
Yes.
I feel like in that case, somewhat she got a little favoritism.
Who?
If she does.
Your neighbor?
Yeah, because soon as I call somebody and say something, she know about it.
Oh.
And the attitude and everything. She didn't call the police on me. I don't know how many times.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't set up in y'all jail. I didn't set up in there.
Wow.
And it ain't too pretty in there.
Let's not do that.
But I will have some answers for you tomorrow, Ms. Gilbert, because I know your family very well. Your entire family. Yes, I do.
So you know everything I was going through.
Yes,
right?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I actually didn't know that was your neighbor until tonight. Okay, so yeah, we'll have some answers for you tomorrow. I promise you that. And with that being said, can I get wait a minute, no, I'll take that back. I'm not ready. Kathy, do you have anything to say? Anybody else?
Yeah,
No,
I wanted to let everybody know that there's a terrible crime, sir. It's happening on my street where vagrants are coming, throwing bricks through windows to break in houses. I wanted to mention it tonight. You need to be very extra careful because we living in times now, people are scared, stuff is going on. You know, there's all kind of electricity in the air, and they're taking bricks. This is in golf clubs, Sherwood Forest, Palmer Woods. They're taking bricks and going in windows in Palmer Woods. And they got it up on next door, and then they come back and do it again, and everybody's Ring camera is picking it up. And private security can't catch them because they're on foot. And they're all colors, white, black, males, police. They're coming in the Highland Park with stolen credit cards and going to Sunoco and Citgo. They're alerting them, when you have a card and it's declined. So just be careful tonight when you're going home. Be extra vigilant because they are all over this area. University District, everywhere. My street. He came to my house yesterday, but I was home cleaning. And everybody knows how loud I am. So I got a big dog and I saw him coming up the driveway and I just started hollering, get out of here. And he was like, why are you freaking out? I mean, this is the kind of, I'm telling you, be careful out here because they just want to take whatever, but they like the Grinch that stole Christmas. They want the last crumb from everybody. So watch it, watch your house, watch your neighbors, watch yourself. Police can't, it's not enough police to catch them all. So just call each other, text each other. I text the neighbor next door. He went there, asked her for some money. She said, no, he went to the next house, threw a brick in the window because she was gone to work. Went right in. Oh, stole her credit card, the computer, extra phone. He stole the phone and then she's pinging it. Pinged him down on Log Cabin, pinged him at he's using a credit card at Sunoco and Highland Park. I called the Highland Park police to let them know. Sunoco and Citgo, he comes in there all the time to shoplift. Be very careful out here. And I just wanted to say it because I don't want that to be going on right up the street and you not know about it. Because it's close to here. I think it's a couple of.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Now, can I get a motion?
Second.
Hey. Good night, everybody. You guys be safe, stay warm.